Working on into turn number 3 and 4. There's Mike Mullen back there racing with the 6 machine of Chance Hollitz out of Clear Lake now. Vanover gonna look to the outside of Kevin Flock. They'll work the lip down in turn number 3 and for 1 and 2. Look at this, Vanover's got the crossover moves, gotta run to Flock to the inside. Flock tried to shut the door, nothing to be had. Vanover's coming back to the inside. Kyle Vanover now brings the Nebraska hot rod to the number 3 spot.
Vanover very smooth around the track early this afternoon, but up front, the 01 of Peyton Taylor closing in on the 25D of Bob Daniels from Des Moines, Iowa.
They'll work it in there. Peyton Taylor looking on the bottom side. Taylor downstairs. 25D of Daniels right there with them. They hurry off a 2 and out of back straightaway. Daniels, if he keep it pinned to the bottom, Bill, that is where he needs to be, because Taylor knows once he gets to Daniels, the top is probably going to be a little dirty for him to work something. As they work it down into turn number 1 and 2 this time, there's just 2 laps remaining.
With 2 laps remaining, looks like Bob Daniels has got a commanding lead. Taylor not able to close in like he was earlier in the race. And laps are winding down as the white flag waves in the air.
Chance Hollitz now coming back to the outside of Kyle Vanover. Vanover downstairs in the white 19. Hollitz in the old Cadillac Jack 6 machine. Working it there to the outside. They'll bring it off of turn number 4 this time. White's gone away. Checkered's come to play. It'll be Bob Daniels from Des Moines, Iowa, and Peyton Taylor from right here in Batesville, Arkansas, coming home 1 and 2. Kent's Firestone, heat race number 6. Starting grid looks this way out of Antigua, Wisconsin. Driving the 19C, that is Eric Zerwich and Blake Clark out of Joshua, Texas in the 88.
The second row, the 10J, will be Jake Nelson from Williston, North Dakota, and Jesse Shearing comes down from West Plains, Missouri in the 38.
Driving the 66Z, it's Z-Man. That is from Ocheyedan, Iowa, Elijah Zevenbergen. And the 40 is Taylor Carver out of Locksburg, Arkansas.
I tell you, this should be a very, very good race here. We've got some talented race car drivers throughout the field of this one as well.
Oh, there is some hitters in it for sure.
And there's definitely not an easy heat to get to 1 and 2 today in all 15 heats.
No, I was talking to everybody, and everybody here's a hitter. They're a player. They've got a legitimate shot at this. The format, everybody back home goes, why would you run 6-car heat races? Think about it. It gives you a better chance. It gives a guy who starts 6th a better shot in 8 laps to get into that top 2. If you had big 10 and 12-car heat races, you don't really have that good of a shot to hurry to the front. With 6 cars, 8 laps, you got some time to make things happen, as we've already seen it, guys coming from the back. Of course, starting 6th, getting 3rd, that puts you good in a points B, get you good points for if you need them come later today.
It's a tough format, but it's a format that's workable.
Yes, it is. Speaking of workable, it is workable around the outside from Blake Clark. But look at this. Zerwich has got company. Zevenbergen. That's what we talked about. Elijah Zevenbergen started 5th, is now up into the number 2 spot. Put Zerwich back into the number 3 position. Watch the 40 of Carver. He's also on the hustle.
Taylor Carver there comes up out of South Arkansas, wins a lot of races down in South Arkansas and Eastern Texas. We hope for good things out of him during the World Stock Car Championship as well.
They'll work it into turn number 3 and 4. It is Elijah Zevenbergen. Oh, easy. Working it right there to the number 2 spot. He's got the crosshairs set. The sights locked in on that 88 of Joshua, Texas racer Blake Clark. Clark right there working it on in. He'll come to the cross flags. There's 4 down, 4 to go. He knows if he can keep that 66 car at bay, he's starting in 1 of 15 front spots in the qualifier. Zevenbergen, I know he's not happy with starting 30th or 16th. He's going to try to work that 88 car, though.
And you're exactly right. Blake Clark out of Joshua Tech gets the heat put on him. And here comes Zevenbergen down into the low part of turn number 1 and off of 2. Excellent side-by-side racing down the back stretch, down into 3. Nobody's wanting to give an inch, but Zevenbergen will take the lead.
Elijah Zevenbergen gets a little bump to the rump. You saw it. Blake Clark says, hey, that was mine. Why'd you take it from me? He says, it's because I need it. Working it down the back straightaway. It is Zevenbergen, followed by Clark. Now here comes a 40 of Carver. Carver in that great-looking red and yellow machine, going to work it down around the bottom side, waiting for Clark to mess up, and there he did. Drove it up off the bottom. White flags out the battles for the final transfer spot. Carver now to the number 2 position.
Carver in second, but here comes the 88 right back down the back straightaway. Carver looks like to have the momentum going into turn number 3 and off of 4. They're not even touching, but they're door handle to door handle. And too close to call right here.
At the line, Elijah Zevenbergen with the win. And Taylor Carver going second by 21 1/1000ths of a second over the 88 machine of Blake Clark. Wow.
That's the kind of race that we were hoping for today.
I think we're going to see it all day. I really do.
I do too.
Here we go. It will be Dale's Recycling. Heat race number 7 coming to the racetrack. We'll see Dylan Smith out of Waco, Texas in the 03E, and Buck Shafroth from Orient, Iowa, the 92.
The second row will be made up of the 01 Troy Jarovitz out of Iowa Falls, Iowa, and Milan, Tennessee's Dale Nelson in the 57X.
Final 2 starters out of Williston, North Dakota. It is the 20F of Dalton Flory, and was scheduled to be there, but I see it still on a bumper jack and crew working on it, so he's going to have to try to come through the Friday show to get himself on in. Bobby Gregory out of Auburn, Kentucky. We saw him have problems in hot laps, and well, still has problems getting things fixed up over there. And
hey, just good to see somebody out of Kentucky represent Kentucky in this race this weekend. One of three licensed IMCA racers out of the state of Kentucky. I had to call my buddy Ryan Clark and see how many Kentucky racers have license, and there are 3 of them: a Mod Light, a Sport Compact, and a stock car. We got the stock car.
Here we go, green flag coming out. They'll work down into turn number 1 and 2. It is going to be Dylan Smith out of Waco, Texas, your race leader. Things are going to get buck wild as Buck Shafroth going to look down to the inside. Shafroth, of course, his teammate, Jonathan Logue, is already locked in for 50 grand. He wants to get his way in. This time he races on into the number 1 spot. Of course, remember that C-Main on Wednesday night? Came from 30th to 4th. That kid's got a car. Tracy Van Eaton, the owner, Todd Van Eaton, the car chief. I think they got themselves a couple cars going to the show tonight.
I think they do too, by the way everything's looking right now. But noticing Troy Jarovitz out of Iowa Falls, Iowa, in the 01, taking over the 2nd spot. Really not surprised by that. He's the type of guy that can make adjustments to a car from day to night to day. So Troy showing what he can do.
Yes, he is working it down there. Here comes Dalton Flory in the 20 car, working the 03E to the inside. Smith started up on the point. Flory started back in the trunk. He's got it brought to the number 3 spot. He's getting himself a good spot for a B-main points race tonight. He'd like to get up there with Jarovitz and make something happen, but Shafroth is your race leader. Jarovitz working 2nd. Flory is 3rd. Smith and then the 57X of Nelson rounding out the field.
You know, the 20 of Dalton Flory, we saw a great show out of him on Wednesday night here, and like I said, had to start back there kind of shotgun on the field, but he's making up some ground in a hurry.
Everybody working down there to the bottom, and like we said, we'll watch that change, Bill. It will change. These guys will not follow each other all day long, because you know when it comes into the Friday or those last chance races tonight, it's going to be win it or wear it, checkers or wreckers, and you're going to have to figure out where you're going to be quicker at. Right now, quick is that 92 of Buck Shafroth. Shafroth with a 17.976 over last time. An 18.089 on the lap time, 7/10 of a second difference between the gap from 1st to 2nd as they look at the white flag and 1 3/8 mile to go.
Shafroth with a commanding lead down the backstretch into 3. Troy Jarovitz right there in 2nd. They're going to come off turn number 4 with a checkered flag waving in the air, and Buck Shafroth is going to be our winner.
Shafroth with the win. Troy Jarovitz out of Iowa Falls, Iowa, going 2nd. So a pair of Iowa racers, 1 and 2 here in Arkansas. Medieval Chassis heat race number 8 getting ready to come to the Speedway, and a guy who's probably wishing his giving the spot up on Wednesday. I know there was talk. He went up to his teammate and said, "Hey, what would it cost for me to buy that spot back from you?" So we'll see if Richie Tosh out of Saldo, Arkansas, in the 99 team can put this thing in the show tonight. Great run Wednesday night. Just had a little bit of trouble. We'll see if he can rectify that, as it is Little Rock, Arkansas's Cody Lowe, 77X Comprising row number 1.
Number 2 row, the 93 SS of Chad Shaw out of Trimble, Missouri, and Jeff Abbey out of Comanche, Texas in the 37.
Taking a look, we'll see Jason Rogers out of Selden, Kansas, the 37R, and Brown Sugar, Angel Munoz out of Lamar, Colorado, the 2M, their shotgun on the field.
You know, Richie Tosh, after the 92 5-time winner of the Schoenfield Headers 10,000 win Mid-America Street Stock Championship here at Batesville.
Well, I think he'd like to be the inaugural winner of the 50,000 stock car world championship.
That'd be 50 and 50.
That's 100,000.
We could call him the $100,000 man.
We could also go out. We still got so we could have him and Zane DeVillibus that could come out of this weekend, taking $100,000 from Mooney and Connie.
Right.
What a deal! Always big money races at Batesville. We talked about that the other day at lunch during the rain out yesterday.
Mooney thanks him up while he's driving the bus.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what he was thinking when he crashed the bus yesterday, though, other than, oh, look out.
May have been 100,000.
Yeah, he said buses don't cost 100,000. Looking for 100,000, that was Richie Tosh. He works the number 1 spot. Right there's Chubby. Chad Shaw out of Trimble, Missouri. Oh, Jason Rogers goes around to the front straightaway. Rogers backwards up here on the front straightaway. Caution coming out. Yellow coming out, so he will rejoin the tail of the field in this one.
But seriously, Mooney will get out there on the bus, rolling the track in, and he'll get off. He goes, I got an idea for a race.
Oh, just talking, I had an interview with him down there. We were talking on the infield, and I don't know how big the wheels are that turn in Mooney Starr's mind, but they're constantly, what's next? And like I said, the drivers meeting on Wednesday, he's already told these drivers, this isn't a one and done. You're coming back to my place next year. He says, I can't pay the big money, but watch what I'm going to do with the money from the top and bring on down. So Mooney's got some ideas. He wants to make, any race he's better. Here was the irony and the tenacity or tenacious D or whatever we talked about the other night. We get rained out here on Thursday, right?
Right.
So we head back down to wherever we're staying at, Greer's Dam or
Greer's Ferry Lake.
Yeah, that way. We're down there. Some tent that they put us in this week, and on the TV is night number 2 of the Topless 100 on MAV TV. We're sitting there and I'm watching. I'm going, come on. I want to watch races, but I guess I'll watch it from here. So we got to watch a little late model action, of course, from Batesville on a rain out. It's kind of irony, though.
Yeah. Hey, but out front, Richie Tosh with a good run off of turn number 2 and down in 3, followed by the 93 SS of Chad Shaw out of Trimble, Missouri, as they get ready to come off turn 4.
Angel Munoz got a pair of them off that restart in the blue 2M out of Lamar, Colorado. Works that blue machine, the blue deuce, into the number 2 or 3 spot. Chad Shaw chasing down Richie Tosh in the 99. Tosh is going to leave the door open. Shaw going to look to the bottom side. Working in there with the right front fender, trying to make something happen. As he did that, he spun the tires at the flag stand, lost some traction, and lost some ground to Tosh.
I tell you, Richie Tosh just right along there with Wayne Brooks as far as making laps around this Batesville Motor Speedway, but one of the few times he's ever been in an IMCA stock car, but he's showing the way right now here at Batesville.
Looks like you can put him in a shopping cart, and he's going to take it to the front. As Tosh out front, showing it over Shaw, Munoz, Abbey, a pair of 37s. Abbey on the outside, Rogers on the bottom. Jason Rogers out of Selden, Kansas. Then the 37 of Jeffrey Abbey out of Comanche, Texas. Working wheel to wheel. Now Angel Munoz sees the door open. Chad Shaw left it. Here comes Munoz. The 2M machine now takes the deuce to the 2 spot.
I tell you, I've been very impressed with Angel Munoz this week, how smooth, calm, and collective he is out here as a race car driver.
Well, you and him both, because he did not have any confidence coming into this one. Had won a couple feature races. Look at that. They cleaned it up off the top. The 93 SS of Shaw went stair-step into the top. That left the door open for Jason Rogers with one to go. Rogers is now within striking distance. Look at Munoz. Munoz is going to run to the outside of Tosh, down the back straightaway. Richie Tosh, you got company. Munoz is going to look to the inside. He'll drive it deep into turn number 1 into 3 and 4. Off of 4, down the front straightaway. It'll be Tosh, Munoz, and Rogers. 1, 2, and 3.
I'll tell you what, as the day's going on, it's just getting closer and closer out there as these drivers are beginning to work different lines here at Batesville, and the track is really coming into play. I
said it's if you're going to lead, you can't follow. And, well, following that, we're going to kick everybody off the free look-in and head you to IMCA.tv, where you still have time to buy today, tomorrow, which is still today, and tonight, which is still tonight. Get the subscription package if you want to join us for the Marathon of Money here at the Batesville Motor Speedway for the inaugural $50,000 to win World IMCA Stock Car Championship. So for those of you on Facebook Live, we got to go. Join us back on IMCA.tv. Heat race number 9 coming. Skyway Buick GMC proudly presents the starting lineup. From Cortez, Colorado, it is Tony Hill. Tony Hill, the only car on a leaf spring chassis in that 007. No shocks, no springs in the rear, leaf springs. And Lance Marietta of El Centro, California, driving the 47 car.
The second row, Derek Agee out of Huntsville, Missouri, and Dylan Knight out of Burleson, Tennessee in the 6K.
Brent Hartwig out of Quitman, Arkansas.